Good morning. This one surprised me, man. Look at this. Brett. Still got the tag in there, huh? You know what this is? Have an idea yet? This is an R9. You know what my opinions are about Gibsons, and yet the reason why is just look at it, bro. I mean, this is in real life this is more red, but the camera is picking it up a bit different. Maybe I need to do something with the filter of the camera, or the, I don't know. Are you seeing it as red in the top here? I think this might be more accurate representation of the guitar's color. However, I'm looking so red. Am I really that red? See, you've got an idea now of the color of this guitar. It's close enough, I think. Red back, aniline dye, as they say. 50 R9. This is a 2001 model. And the neck is pretty fat. It reminds me of my 50s vintage faded Honeyburst, but it's very rounded. Much more rounded. Like a perfect round, you know? I don't know if I can stand my my skin being so red. I'm gonna have to revert it back to the more realistic. Okay, you know, that's close enough, right? To my eyes, the red here looks rich, especially on the very edges here. So it caught my eye. And look at the flames on it. Looks like you're looking at the sea, right? It's not like a perfectly straight flame from the center to the edge, for example, or, you know, skinny or fat flame. I think this is my favorite type of flame. It's either like a sea flame, you know, like looking at the sea or the ocean, or a wild flame. And it's moving. Look at that. You see that? Can you see it? I can see it. And look how yellow the binding is. Oh man. This one had a pick guard, but I removed it because, you know, one thing about the pick guard is that when it comes to the pick guard, you see this metal, this screw here? The back is not really, it's not cushioned. I think the standard Les Pauls of today, they have some kind of foam or felt. I was too paranoid that that thing would be hitting the finish and damaging it. I'm keen to give this a chance on the guitar, but I will have to put something in here to protect the finish. But I don't think I would mind, because just for the nostalgia, you know. Now the case, I'm going to give you a rundown about why I picked this guitar. Number one, for the look, because when I was at the guitar store, the name of the guitar store is Cladesville Guitar Factory. I saw this on the wall along with, I think, a couple of Murphy Labs and another VOS or something. A few guitars on the wall, right? I told the salesman, saw me, said, "Hey, you look like you're keen on the guitar," something like to that effect. And then I said, "You think I can have a look at one on that guitar?" And I was pointing at that guitar, and then because there was a thing here saying please ask for assistance before, because it's not a beginner guitar price kind of thing. He sort of pre-warned me, almost like driving me away, like, are you in the market for X dollar guitar, And then I said, yeah, I don't know, because I just want to see what the hype is with these reissues, what's different to how different it is to standard in terms of playability, the feel. I know the pickups are different, or the construction, the bridge tailpiece, and some of the things that don't really matter when it comes to playability. And so he started chatting me up about Gibson history and all this, and almost like he was trying to distract me away from the guitar so that he doesn't have to handle it, because he thinks it might be a risk of some rookie who's going to damage some dear merchandise, I would say. And as I was listening to him, I kept on looking back, because there was a seat here, and then the guitar wall was there, and then this guitar was up there, right? And I just kept on looking at it, like, I just kept looking back until finally I couldn't take it anymore, and I said, "You think I can check that out?" And then he took it. He looked at the price tag, and then me and him were kind of shocked, because it wasn't as dear as we thought. I think in that time he was a bit less apprehensive on letting a perceived rookie handle the guitar, which I understand. I get it. Right? He doesn't know me, so he doesn't know that I have these PRSs and whatever. That I handle the instrument like a professional. He gave the guitar to me, and then I started checking it out. Like, oh wow, I think it's lighter than my standard. In fact, let me quickly check, man. .9. The guitar is 3.9 kilos. So it's lighter than my Les Paul standard. My Les Paul standard being 4.25. This one's 3.9. Which is good enough for me, because it's under 4 kilos. And my McCarty is about 4 kilos. So that's good. I guess that's because of the custom shop timbers, the good lighter timbers that are designated to the custom shop. And I was checking it out, looking over the hardware and everything. VOS, this is a VOS. Felt the neck. I said, wow, this is kind of fat for a 59. I thought the 59s were kind of in between the 50s Les Paul standard neck and a 60 in between, right? It's very round. Really fills up my hand. And then I took a pic from my pocket. My key has those pick holders. I started just acoustically, because I normally I like to test the guitars out acoustically first before I plug it in. And I tested it out. Bro, listen to that. That's so. It's so resonant. I'm pretty sure this is a solid body, but sometimes the guitar resonates so much that I think it's chambered or whatever. But that's coming through through the mic, right? Granted, the mic has compression and EQ applied to it, but you get the general idea, right? Because you're smart. It's a snappy sound. Sounds kind of muscular. The thing that really stood out to me the most here is the frets. Bro, the frets are so tall on this. They're like, I never expected this from this type of guitar, like a reissue type guitar, especially from a genuine, what do you call it, reissue, where the latest ones are supposed to be the closest as possible. This is a 2000 model, so it's not, of course, it's 25 year difference. This is a 25-year-old guitar. If that's the case, if this is really a 2020 guitar, according to the serial number, it's a 90. The first two numbers, 9 being it's a 59 reissue, and the 0 is either 2000 or 2010 or 2020. I don't know why I think it's 2020. It said on the website that it was 2020. Someone else has owned this guitar, and the Guitar Factory had sold it through consignment. So they're selling it on behalf of the customer, and they get a kickback from it. The guitar is immaculate, man. Although I see there are signs of maybe the pickups getting tampered, or the whoever had examined the pickups or swapped them on, whatever the case may be. But the way I know that is because when I changed my pickups on my Les Paul Standard, I had some bit of boo-boos where I caused some scratches on the body. You see those? You see that? I think those are from the legs of the pickups. Those markings there. Right? You see that? Is it focused? I think so. But I think that's about it. I don't think there is... Maybe there's a super tiny little damage from the screw that I was talking about, from the screw of the pick guard, that one there. But that's nothing, man. That's nothing. That's nothing. You know? But this thing is immaculate. And oh man, look at the logo. I had to really inspect the guitar very closely and with extreme focus, just to make sure I'm not buying some fake, because for the price that I got it from, immaculate condition, 2000 model, if it is 2000, right? Look at the logo. It's nice and goldened out probably from the nitro, right? And the Les Paul decal there is I believe that's a silk screen. I believe so. Can you see it, man? Probably too close to be able to focus. That looks like a silk screen to me. Right? Looking like a silk screen thing to me. I didn't know about this at that time, but what's this, the double line tuners? I don't really know when these came about, when they changed from the single line to the double line, but do I care? I don't know. What I do notice though is that the tuning buttons are a little bit smaller than on my Standard, I think. These things are a little bit smaller. Something different. Got the truss rod cover there with the thick whites, and the tuner, the whatever this is, the surrounds that stabilize the peg in its place to protect the wood is small. They don't use that washer thing and then washer in a nut. I kind of like it because it looks like small. Right? The post itself looks small. I like that. My Tanglewood's tuners are kind of like this, the style. I like it like that. Now this had been restrung with 1052s as per my request, but I always never really like it when other people restring the guitar, because they always have these. The string is the ends of the string are too long. Where is it? They're too long, and I don't know why they pointed it up, because if this hits someone's head or someone in the face by accident, by accident, all right, it might hurt them, might poke them and cause some little injury there, especially with the plain strings, because they're like a needle. But the frets, man, and the inlays are, what are these inlays? They look real nice. They look like a stone. Look at the inlays. What is that, bro? Huh? What is that? I don't know. I'm asking you. Almost look like... I don't think that's a mother of pearl. Probably not. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. I don't know. What do you think? Focus on it. I know I'm the star of the show. I've said that before, but sometimes we gotta focus on other things, right? Can you appraise it, man? If not, then you can just praise it. So I suspected that this was refretted because of the tall frets, but I think I do remember playing a Gibson that had frets that was about this tall, which was on a friend's Les Paul BFG, which I was pleasantly surprised with. Look at that, man. I'm gonna put my thumb skin here so that hopefully you can see it. Can you see it? I think it's focusing on my skin. There we go. You see how tall that is? The reason why I suspect this is stock frets because of the nibs are still there and they are perfectly married to the frets. They don't look like they left it there and then they matched the fret to the fret nibs. You know what I mean? I'm trying to give you the best representation. But these frets are very tall. I don't know. It's hard to see. My camera's depth of field is very shallow. But I hope you got an idea. But even from here, from this angle, like that, they're tall. I don't know how to measure them with my calipers, like the height. I can measure the width, but the height, not really. I don't know how you can do that. They are a joy for me to play because I am a sucker for tall frets, man. Like that ESP type frets, you know? Because they're so easy to bend. The note's dying because the expander is kicking in, the noise gate. Let me get closer. I can even hear overtones, but I don't know if that's coming from here or if it's coming from here. But either way, wherever it's coming from, it's transferring from the body, from the wood very nicely. You know, it's traveling. But I don't know. What am I doing? All I know, this is a very resonant guitar. Very. The second day I went there, which is yesterday, just to make sure I wasn't imagining things. I went there after work, after gym, and then just to check it out, to see if I actually really like it. And then the guy who served me there, who ultimately looked after me, he said he just traded in some guy's Murphy Lab. I think it must have been a 2020 model because I saw 90 on the serial, right? He traded a Murphy Lab, must have been a light or ultra light aged. Traded that for one of his modern Eagles. He said the guitar must have cost like, as you expect from a high-end priced Murphy Lab. And then I compared that with this. I didn't really dig it, man. For some reason, like I could tell that acoustically the guitar sounded more mature. It wasn't, the notes weren't as poppy as with this, but it definitely felt older, felt more mature. Sounded more mature, and the feel of the neck too, because I could tell that the edge of the fingerboard had been rolled more than this. This is, I think, I don't know if this has been rolled or not. I think the way they did 59 reissues is they don't reissue it from, they don't base it from a model that's been played for decades. They based it from when it comes out of the factory as is. But it's okay. I don't know. I'll probably do something about this. But the Murphy Lab one, noticeably had the binding, the edge of the fretboard rolled. This kind of feels a bit rolled though. But anyway, the Murphy Lab was more rolled because I could feel it, and I could also see a distinction with the yellow binding. The edges were white because they shaved off some of the nitro, and the nitro that's causing it to be yellow. They shaved that out too, as a side effect of rolling the edge. I love rolled edges, man. My Custom 22 has very rolled edges. It feels like the guitar's 50 years old, or been playing for 50 years. Even my friends who I handed the guitar to just to get them to check it out, they said, "Oh, it feels old." I said, "Yes." And this one has that feature of the aniline. It's aniline, right? Aniline dye. Aniline. That sounds like a chick's name. That's a little bit. I wonder if this guitar's been resprayed, huh? I really don't know because I've inspected the paint and I don't know. How do you spot a respray? It's probably not been resprayed because otherwise this one would have been corrected. But who knows? Maybe it has been resprayed. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. There's another little ding in here, which doesn't matter. It's character. I like it. I dig it. Do you? Do you like character on your guitar, man? If not, I feel sorry for you, man, because every little ding will break your heart, and then that's just pain. Probably unnecessary pain. Pain is good, but maybe not necessary pain. Look at that. Let me give you some scan-in action, man. Mahogany. That's clean. This would be a one piece. Get a load of this, man. Give you some light reflection action. That is nice, man. And then the neck. Nice quarter sawn mahogany neck. You understand? Focus. Come on. There we go. And I looked at the headstock. That there doesn't seem to be a break on it, which led to the unusually nice price, Maybe the guy was it just needed a quick sale. Because that happens, maybe this is just one of his collection and probably has a lot of, maybe he just wanted a guitar and then maybe as a status thing, because I really don't think this guitar has been played very much at all, if any. The frets are in pretty good condition, on top of being nice and big. I need to get the nut filed down as well. I need to get up the guy who done my PRSs to give this a nice look over. He's going to do I think he will file the nut to the correct height and adjust the pole pieces to balance the output between strings, because I dig what it does with that. I don't know what pickups these are. I suspect they may be 57 Classics. I really think the pickups have been removed because I see that the screws are a little bit worn, a little bit of stripping happening. And I spent maybe less than 1 minute with the guitar plugged in, because when it comes to pickups, I can always change it, but the feel of the guitar, how lively it is, that's something you gotta get right from the beginning, correct? Because to some people listen to that. I wonder if this is chambered. To some people that's the mojo, right? I don't know. Do you think this is chambered? Let's plug it in. I suspect these are 57 Classics. Did I say it already? Pardon me, man. Let's try the clean sound, or let's try the pure sound. Well, it's not really pure because the signal's going straight through my pedal board and into the Joyo cab box, which is using the preset called Soldano 4x12 with vintage 30 supposedly. And this is how it sounds on the bridge pickup with everything on full. So no compressor in this one. And then we try it with my clean sound, which is basically just the guitar going into, how is the signal pattern this? It's going to the 6-band equalizer with a bit of a V shape and with a Obi-Wan Strymon with a bright boost enabled. This is my typical clean sound. This is Elixir 10 to 52 E standard at the moment. I normally play drop D, but this will do for now. I'll try the overdrive, which is just an AC booster. This is typically my in-between sound, in between clean and rhythm distortion. Sounds kind of thick, huh? Not to me, anyway. Like a creamy sound. As usual, I've also checked this for any choking. You know what I mean? Like if you're bending up here more than a tone, I made sure it wasn't choking. Man, I think you can. From what I can see from reflections, I think you can feel the flame. Look at it. Look, see that in here. Like the lacquer is actually wavy from the flame. Oh yeah. Can I feel it? I don't have superhuman feeling, superhuman sense of feeling. All I feel is it's smooth. And then we move on to the Rev G3 pedal, which is my favorite rhythm pedal. The Rev G3 is dialed for my PRS Custom 22 because that's my main. And so we try it with this with no adjustment. Is it me or it sounds a bit dark, huh? I was thinking, are the tone knobs a bit? It's on full. I need to put a treble bleed on that one. Because with the volume on 3, this isn't really as sparkly, these notes here. It's okay. I need more sparkle with that. Especially with the neck pickup. Put the volume on the neck pickup on 3. Look, for a second there I thought I was on the neck pickup, but I'm actually on the bridge pickup. I wonder if that's the pots, because another thing is I suspect that the pots are linear. They're not a nice logarithmic. I like a logarithmic pot. And then 500K. So I'm probably gonna have to change that, man. Because the way it's reacting to the cleaning up. At that point, it should be cleaner now because this is already on 2.5 on the volume. 2 on the volume. Look, there's nothing wrong with the guitar, I think, but there's just a few things that are not quite to my taste. The electric tone is dark, and yeah, the guy did say that about this guitar. The tone is electric tone is dark. Now, when you listen to the just the guitar itself, it's bright and muscular. Right? It might not be too bad because like the resonant, what do you call it? The resonant peak is at the right place of the mids, or I don't know. It's not sizzling. Like let's say this is the low frequency and then the higher frequency here, right? 30 hertz and then 30 kilohertz. It's not sitting like the Burstbucker 2. It's not sitting so high. It's sitting a bit lower, I think. Maybe slightly lower. I don't know. I wonder if he filed the nut to accommodate for the 52 and the saddle. I don't know, bro. I guess we'll find out. Huh? Let me quickly check the benchmark. You know, my PRS Custom 22. I'll get a reference tone of this quickly. So this is a bit brighter than the Gibson. This is the 5815 pickups, the OG 5815. My favorite pickups at the moment. I think, you know, the coveted 5708 pickups. I suspect they are probably based on the 57 Classics. If they are 57 Classics. I don't know what 57 Classics sound like. Unless, maybe I know it now because they might be 57 Classics. Did I say 57 Classics? Alright, put it back in the case. I don't baby my instruments, but I'm not sloppy either. I treat them with respect, especially because they're wonderful tools. I picked them because I really like them. When I first played this, I went home, I couldn't stop thinking about it, man. Keep looking at the pictures on the website. But I think these pickups to me, they sound like they're encouraging me to be percussive. I think what I mean by that is when you're doing the whole... The palm mutes are very tight on this. Very tight and clean. Wow. Okay, we actually had a bit of a break there because of my wireless lab dying. And in that time, while I was waiting for it to charge, I thought I would adjust the pickup, lower it, because when you lower it, it reduces the output. Because I noticed there's a bit of that proximity effect, right? Bit of extra crunch. Also a side effect of having that extra output from being so close up. I lowered it by maybe 2 or 3 full turns, something like that. And then balance the neck pickup with the bridge pickup output using raw sound like this. I don't know, bro. I think this might actually. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I probably was wrong. This is actually probably a logarithmic pot. I might not have to replace it, which will be good because I don't really want to do that, man. Because extra work. I might have to pay some of the. I can do it myself, but I don't have enough experience to trust myself with something like this. But maybe someday I will. So what I'll do is I will just whatever treble bleed I put on the Les Paul Standard. I'm gonna do it here because probably I need to remember what values I used. It's gonna be a similar kind of humbucker. I wanna actually check out the output of this pickups. The way I'll do that is take the cable that's connected to the guitar. This is I believe because I made this cable, right angle Neutrik with a straight Neutrik, and it's about this must be about 6 meters. So I don't know how that's gonna affect the capacitance because in theory it probably will, but maybe not that much. I think I have a I think I have a patch cable in here somewhere so that it's either in here or it's downstairs. How different is the output gonna be anyway if it's 6 meters versus, I don't know, 6 meters or 3 meters? I don't remember, bro. Probably 6. All right, I have a patch cable in here. The orange colored cable can stay where it is. Let's see this output, man. I have an overhead camera. Let me see if I can utilize that. What? There's no way that's 9.3. Is that really 9.3? What pickups are these? 9.2, 9.3. And then neck pickup 807. It's stable. Let's check the bridge again. If it's 9.3. What? What pickups are these, man? I don't think these are Gibson pickups. However, they kind of sound pretty alright. What? Am I on the? I'm on the right measurement, right? 9.3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm on the right sockets. It's where it's saying volt, ohm, MA. The black is on the COM. That's crazy, man. 9.2, 9.3. Together they're playing at 431. Huh. Very interesting, man. Just for good measure, let me try the... I don't know if it matters. If we try the guitar cable. Actual guitar cable. Hello? There we go. Same thing, 925. Yeah, maybe the same with the neck. 807 something. 80 something. Yeah, doesn't matter. Very interested to know what pickups these are, man. If this is a Gibson pickup, we have to take into account that there's something about the drift of the pots, the value of the pots. Like they go higher in value or something. So if they started out as 500K, somewhere there, they could end up 700, maybe apparently sometimes as high as 800. So who knows? Whatever these pickups are, I think they sound pretty good though. Initial thoughts anyway, because these pickups have a strong low mid content, which I don't know how that's gonna translate live, right? Or in the studio. I mean, let's have a look again. It's in the palm mutes. What I'm listening for is how much low mid there is there. Low or upper low? Is it low mid? Upper mid bass? We'll call it low mid. What I'm listening for is the low mid content in relation to the normal strumming sound when I'm palm muting, because the palm muting, it accentuates it. There, you hear that? The E is strong. Yeah, the low end or the low mid is strongest on that E. Where else is it strong? Here. B. E and B so far. Yep. E and B. I don't know. That's probably okay. Now I want to see what's in the cavity, man, because I should have, before I bought it, I wanted to check what was in the cavity, but there was not enough time because they were closing and I wanted to secure the guitar. You know what I mean? Now, at least we get to see it together. Let me just wipe the strings quickly. These are the elixirs, so I don't have to be too paranoid with them, but I still like to do it out of habit, just because I'm a professional, you know? We're professional over here, man. We're not sloppy. Are you sloppy? I hope not. They're not the bumblebee stuff, the orange drop or whatever you want. I forgot what a 50s wiring looks like. It says R9 there. You see it there, R9. It's probably safe to say that the pickups in these might be stock because the soldering job on the pickup wires, they don't look like they've been redone. Or I could be wrong. It's fairly clean. You know when a solder joint looks like they've been put there, like a solder looks like it's been there for just one time, and they haven't been remelted and wires taken out, and then wires put there back there and then resoldered in. They don't really look like that to me. Maybe I will take a video instead. See that? Can we focus? Do a micro. Does that look like it's been redone to you? The capacitors, they don't really matter to me, man. I don't know. They don't look like they've been tampered with. I could be wrong. Maybe they just did it really good. Who knows, man? I am very curious. Let me take a photo. Yeah, I wanna rotate it. The switch is going up and down like this. Be like that. Now, actually, I think I can see how it says Gibson on the pots, so the tone pots and also on the volume pots. But I don't know what type they are. I can only tell you what I think they are. I don't know how to measure the pots. And I think I will put the thing back on it. You know the thing. You know the thing. The pick guard. I wonder if the screws are in there. I'm sure he left it in. We have some case goodies, by the way. Let's have a look at the case goodies. What's this? LPR9F. F for flame, right? The Gibson warranty card. Historic division. Collectors. Historic art and historic custom art and historic division. Gibson strings, it says here. Quality performance tradition Gibson. That one. And vintage reissue strings. Magic tone. Oh yeah. Magic tone, it says. This is the first time I'm seeing this stuff. Or kind of second time because the guy quickly just showed me while I was looking at the guitar, so my attention was divided. What's this? Ah, here are the screws. Now the guitar didn't come in a The guitar didn't come with a vintage case. It came with this beautiful black case, right? And then the inside is like a coffin. I like this case because the vintage case, I suspect that the way it's shaped, right, and the way the padding is, it seems like the guitar is gonna move around inside. But with this one, it's tight. This one is the guitar is tight in there, and it doesn't look like the headstock is gonna be bumping the top here with the guitar moving around inside it. I had to look at videos online of how the guitar is in the case or pictures. It looks like it's a bit loose inside, but this one is pretty good. Doesn't really have that vanilla smell like, you know, like Gibson does. Probably in late 2000 maybe they didn't have that, because it's the same with PRS. The 2020 the 2005 PRS guitar that I bought didn't have that vanilla smell either. But the 2015 guitar that I got, the case had the vanilla smell, and the modern Gibson that I got had a vanilla smell as well. All right, I'll put everything back inside. All right, talk amongst yourselves. At some point, I want to take a picture of me with this guitar for the memories, you know. What am I gonna do with this? Electric tape to cover that screw up, this one here. I don't want this thing rubbing up against the finish and then scratching it as I play. I don't know, normally I like the look of a flamey Les Paul with showing off the flame. I think I am feeling the pick guard. So 2 layers of electric tape to cover it, just something simple like that. You like the pick guard on your guitar? Yeah? Are these the same screws? Come on, bro. I didn't get a grip, man. Yeah, I think they're the same screw. Not too torquey. All right. Actually, another thing to note is that the fitment of the pickguard is actually pretty good. It's pretty good. There, you like it? It's hiding some of the flame there. How's it looking like that? As you see, there's no gaps or anything of in here. Some Les Pauls have it, or the gap could be in here, but it looks all the way from like there. The cut of the pickguard is almost pretty damn close to perfect, right? I'd say this is pretty much perfect. Like, if you're really gonna nitpick over here, it's I don't know, there's an overhang, but it's probably part of the character. I would call it part of the character. See that? It's fine. It's very good, actually. I did notice that in here there's a gap between the neck, the end of the neck and the beginning of the neck humbucker. No, I'd be expecting on modern guitars that would be closed, that gap there. But that's fine. That's a character of the old school stuff, I think. That's completely fine. We played with the pick guard on, the Les Pauls style guitars that I've owned, and Les Pauls that I've owned and never used pick guards. So this would be new to me, huh? Oh, that's a raw tone. There we go. Who knows? Down the track, I might end up taking off the pick guard. Maybe it suits it, huh? I think when they serviced it, I think they polished it, man. I don't think a VOS is meant to be polished, but it's all good. It still has a vintage look to it. Almost looks a bit like a wet look. That's what I like. I like a wet look, because some guitars they're super polished and super the how would you call it, the like the surface is so smooth because the lacquer is thick enough, and it just looks like a shiny guitar, right? But with this one, it looks like it's wet, like a wet look. And oh, speaking of wet, the neck doesn't give me that sticky in my mind. Unlike a standard Les Paul that I played before when I was auditioning my first Gibson, it was a fully lacquered Les Paul standard, 50s and probably 60s even. I'll be playing and then I'll be checking my hand like, what the hell? Did something go in my hand? Like this? I mentioned this before, but with this one I don't get that. I am really enjoying the high frets on this, man, the tall frets, and the resonance of the guitar. You know listen to how loud this is, man. All the way up the neck. Probably my loudest guitar to date. Also, it should be, because it's also the dearest guitar to date. The resonance of the body as it is now in its state with the lacquer and everything, the loudness, the resonance, the liveliness of this guitar, the body, it beats my PRSs, I'll tell you now. However, they're not dead by any means. They're lively, but this one is just the snappiness of the maybe you can help me out, man, because if this is a 2000 model, is this chambered? I doubt it. I love the top of this. Love the top of this, bro. This sea maple top. Sea flame maple, like the sea, like the ocean. Ocean flame maple. I like how they've done the burst on this. You can see the leak of the aniline dye. Just a little bit though. It's not a lot. There is a little bit there for sure. If I zoom in, maybe might be better. Can you see something there? Can you see some aniline dye leak? Here, there's a little bit of aniline dye leak. Can you see it? Will it fall? Oh, there we go. There we go. And meanwhile, look at those frets, man. Look at how tall the frets are, man. I wouldn't say big. They're not wide. They're tall, but they're not wide like a ESP. Right? As I said, I suspect this wasn't really played much. I think it was just stored. And I don't know if this stuff is gonna fade over time with the sunlight. I don't know what's gonna happen with the finish, because I'm probably gonna be likely going to be gigging this. This is gig worthy. I am enjoying the guitar a lot. At some point, I'll find out what the pickups are. They could be stock. Maybe you can help me out. The bridge is directly, obviously, as expected from the custom shop, it's directly mounted to the body. You can see it there. My McCarty 594 is like that too. Come on, bro. Give me some focus. There we go. It also has the retainer spring. Can you see it? Retainer spring there. Do you like that? I don't know, I don't mind it. It's not been interfering with me so far. Gibson Les Paul R9 reissue 59. Thank you for watching. GM.